Good morning, friends and family of YouTube. It's Travis again, and today we're going to be doing a quiet walkway. But before we get started, let me give you some directions on how to get here, and those are coming up right now. If you're driving from the Maryville, Alcoa area, you'll pass through the city of Townsend, and then you'll come up here to the Townsend Y, where the road actually forks. If you bear to the right, that takes you towards Cades Cove. But we're actually going to go left towards Gatlinburg today. So just for reference, coming this direction, you will pass the Sinks, Metcalf Bottoms, Elkmont Campground, and then you're also going to pass through the parking area here at Laurel Falls, which is what we're passing through at the moment. And it takes a little over 20 minutes from the Townsend Y just to get to this point. Alright, you're going to pass the Sugarlands Visitor Center. If you turn left, that'll take you back towards Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. But we're actually going to go to the right, going back towards North Carolina. Alright, so parking here for the quiet walkway is here on your left. Quiet walkway is right across the street from Husky Gap Trail. So it's the parking area is over here, and then the trailhead begins over here on the right. All right, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing Riverview Quiet Walkway, and let me just pan around here real quick. So there is plenty of parking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parking spaces, and here is the beginning of the trail, and it's just going to make a loop. So let's get started and see what this looks like. All right, so again, this is Riverview Quiet Walkway. It's supposed to be about 9/10 of a mile. Should take about 25 minutes. And I think there's a cemetery on this one, so never been on it before. So let's check it out and see what this trail looks like. All right, well, I can already tell by this particular trail that it's much easier, just for the fact that it's fairly level and graveled. So hopefully that'll make for an easy walk today. Alright, so according to the All Trails map, the Vance Newman Cemetery is off to the right, and I assume it's this trail here. So let's go up here and see if that is correct. So here we go. Vance Newman Cemetery. I saw the brick wall here right off the bat, but then you can see the cemetery itself here, fairly small. Trying to stay on the outskirts here to be respectful, but a lot of these older markers are just nothing but just a stone. They don't have anything written on them. But anyway, that's a cool little site there. Didn't know that even existed back here. Alright, we'll come back out here and hit the main trail to the right. There's a little bench that you can rest on if you need to. Just looks down below. Not really a whole lot to see right now with the vegetation as thick as it is. But I would say here a little later this year, maybe around November, December time frame when the leaves are off, see a little bit better. Well, the trail definitely starts to narrow, so I assume most of the foot traffic stays up there at the very beginning, maybe go down to the cemetery, but probably doesn't see a whole lot of people that make the full loop, which is a little disappointing because, I mean, I want to see what's on the whole trail, and we're going to find out what's here. All right, so I can hear water, so hopefully we're getting close. Well, here's a bench. I almost passed it right up. Let's make our way down through here. See what this looks like. So most of the trail's been pretty easy, but this right here is going to be a little bit more challenging. Not too bad, but still need to watch your step. So that is a pretty good view of the river. So when they say Riverview, they mean it. Water's down a little bit, but still, overall, pretty nice. Alright, so we came down that way, down here to the river itself. And then I'm going to go back out this way. It looks like it kind of just loops back around to hit the main trail. So let's try that. Alright, so this path, I believe, does come back out here and hit the main trail. But I don't think it gets quite as much foot activity. So you're going to have to navigate through some of the overgrowth. It does look like it's coming back up here to the main path though, which I believe is right here. So we will continue here to the right, and this does loop all the way back around to the very beginning. There's a neat little stone structure wall. Always fascinated when I see those. And then there is a tree down, so you'll have to go either over or under. I don't know which is easier. I think I'm going to go around. My back's been giving me some issues, so let's do this. Oh yeah, it's not bad at all. Alright, we'll continue on. Alright, so yeah, this part of the trail apparently just does not get the same kind of traffic as the other parts, but we will continue down this way. Alright, I think the problem with that is this is supposed to be the main trail down through here, and there's been some trees fall and it's kind of blocked, so you have to kind of come around here, this makeshift path. But then once you get back out on the main one again, it's not too bad, but you can definitely tell this is a little bit more rugged than when we first started, which was gravel and fairly smooth. So just keep that in mind if you decide to hike this one. It looks like we're coming up on a little crossing here, probably just when it rains. But we're still next to the river. So let's go down here. It looks like another good view. Let's check this out. Yeah, definitely another good view. Now the water level is down, which is typical for this time of year. Usually in the fall, we don't get a lot of rain. But around November, December, January, February, those 4 months, it'll make up for it. So, but right now the conditions are dry and the water level is low. So I can only imagine what this would look like when the water's flowing at full steam. So yeah, it's still following this part of the river, this section of the trail. So you do get quite a few views. However, we got to get really close back there. So we'll see. Probably coming to the end of the river, touching the trail, so we'll probably end up veering back to the left at some point and head back out. But well, we got one more view right here. We're not going to be close to the water, but pretty decent view. Alright, so you do have another tree to go. Like, normally I could go under that one, but I hurt my lower back yesterday, so we're going to go around. Ugh, I should be at home in bed resting, but I really want to get out this weekend and get a little bit of hiking time in and get some video footage. But that's why I was choosing the quiet walkways, since the distance wasn't near as long. And so if my back did start hurting, I could get back to the truck fairly quickly. So anyway, hopefully we're going to be coming back up on main entrance of the trail pretty soon, but this is pretty narrow on this part of the walkway. All right, so apparently I missed the turn. I went just a little ways, and I just happened to check my All Trails app, and I know you won't be able to see it on here, but I had went a little farther than what we needed to and came back. So this big rock, let's see if I can show you that. Like, I followed the trail to the right, and we actually need to go to the left, and there's not much of a trail here, to be honest, but that's the way the All Trails app is telling me to go, so I'm gonna follow it. But as you can see, I don't know if there's been anybody down through here in a while. It's pretty overgrown, but when does that ever stop me? So we'll keep going. All right, so this part of the trail is definitely not for the faint at heart. So if you're just wanting a nice little quiet walk in the woods, see some scenery, I would recommend just starting on the main trail, going to see the cemetery, and then walk down to the river, and then turn around and go back. If you want the more rugged, adventurous hike through the woods, I would recommend taking this section, because like I said, there's just not been many people on this one, and I'm kind of surprised that it's overgrown like this. But I mean, these are kind of trails that I'm used to, so it doesn't bother me. But I don't want to recommend that you take this section without knowing what it looks like, because it's definitely a lot more rugged. Here's another tree to navigate. All right, here's another section that you have to navigate down, and then back up this hill here. And we continue on. And this is a pretty good incline climbing back out of here on this side. So just be aware of that. Starting to breathe a little heavier for sure. All right, here we are, back up at the parking area. So it does circle around, assuming you don't take the wrong turn like I did. But I was able to catch myself fairly quickly. All right, so in summary, take the right-hand trail entrance. That's easy peasy. Takes you to the cemetery and down to the river, and then turn around and come back. If you want the more adventurous trail, take the left and or do the full loop. But I will warn you, a lot more difficult and not many people traveling that one. So choose wisely. All right, so that's the Riverview Quiet Walkway. It's 9/10 of a mile, takes about 25 minutes. The path itself is fairly smooth for the most part until you get down here to the river. So you've got to go down a kind of a rocky embankment to get down here to actually get next to the river itself. But other than that, the trail is pretty easy to navigate. So you do have the river itself, and you have the cemetery. So a couple of awesome sights on this particular walkway. So I highly recommend it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. I'd also go ahead and ask you to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification the next time I publish another video. But until next time, just keep walking.